particular for the Member of Parliament position.
Yeah, and that is in Kitui Rural. We have NTV's Melita Oletenges there with us. Melita, good to see you tonight in various areas across the country where these elections are taking place. We've heard reports of low voter turnout, incidents of bribery, and also some pockets of violence. What's been happening where you are?
Well, Smitty and Mark, it hasn't been a different scenario here as far as voter turnout is concerned. From the wee hours of the morning, we saw that there was a really low voter turnout from when the polling station was opened at 6 a.m. in the morning. We visited different polling stations in Kitui Rural constituency. It has 5 wards, and of course we tried to traverse all these wards just to get our picture of what was happening in these wards. And what we came across with, Mark, was quite disappointing and underwhelming voter turnout in all the 5 wards here in Kitui Rural constituency. And we are yet to get the details as to why this voter turnout has been like that. But so far, so good as far as the tallying process is concerned. We are here at the Southeastern Kenya University, just a few kilometers from Kwavonza town. And of course, Kwavonza also is one of the wards that we visited in the evening. And what we saw there, Mark and Smitty, is that about 200 voters turning up to vote at a polling station where there are 600 registered voters. So that goes to tell you just how much there was voter apathy in this particular election in Kitui Rural constituency. Apart from that, we have the tallying center here and the county constituency officer here just trying to update, and you can see the results are projected there as they stream in. I've just read the results just a few minutes ago, and as it stands, we've seen that David Mwalika is leading with about 4,000 votes. And that is David Mwalika of the Wiper Party. And also we have seen that Charles Mutisia of the UDA Party is following with about 3,500 votes. So the votes keep changing because this is actually being updated from the desk there, as you can see, by the IEBC officials. So they are updating, and that changes with time. But of course, we are keeping our eyes there just to get the full details so that we bring our viewers up to speed with that. We'll be camping here until they announce the final tally, of course. But the presiding officers also continue streaming in here. Remember that in this particular election, they were filling the Form 35A in the polling stations after counting the ballot papers. And of course, this particular race has only 2 contestants, so they were just counting in 2 different, sides, so that they actually get the final tally, and then they register that in the Form 35A. The constituency returning officer will fill that into Form 35B, and the final results will be written down in Form 35C. So that is the process ongoing here. Earlier on, we also noticed that some of the polling stations lack the register where the voters are supposed to check whether they are valid to vote in that particular polling station. And we realized this because we were looking for Ben Kitili's name in Bitini polling station, but we didn't find the particular register, so we cannot confirm whether he is registered there. But of course, we have seen this scenario, and we asked the presiding officers, and they said this is because the voters voted in the 9th of August elections, and therefore they know which streams to vote. So apart from that, the process went on well. We saw the 2 candidates are voting in different places. Also, we saw the elderly turning up to vote, as well as persons living with disability, and we filed this story earlier for our viewers. Voting in Kitui Rural constituency kicked off at 6 a.m. with a low voter turnout witnessed across the polling stations in the 4 wards of Kisasi, Kanyangi, Mbitini and Kwavonza Yata ward. Voters expressed their disappointment in the postponed polls on August 9th for the parliamentary seat after a mix-up of ballot papers in which Kitui Rural received ballot papers meant for Pokot South constituency.
Tulikuwa wengine tunasafiri, lakini njoo tunataka tuchague mwenye tunataka, tumerudi tena kumchagua tukiwa sawa.
Wakati mwingine wajitayarishe kama hizi makosa ya ballot majina warekebishe kabla ya nini kuletea watu tupige kura.
In Kilamba polling station in Bitini Ward, IEBC officials were forced to use validation forms for most voters whom could not be identified by the KIMS kit as a result of abrasions on and changes to their fingerprints after engaging in manual labor.
Fingerprints, when they are on the KIMS kit, they are not reflecting. That's why you find some of them we are validating using the KIMS supervisor validation form, whereby the PO has to take a picture and authorize the voter to go ahead and vote.
Among the persons living with disability and elders who turned up to vote, 93-year-old Mwasia and his wife stood out. They were hand in hand throughout the whole process, something they have done since they got married in 1958. Mwasia and his wife have voted in all the elections since 1963 to the recent one on the 9th of August.
Wapige kura tusaidiane nchi hii, maana mimi ninataka na wao nataka, na tusipokawanya tukaambia wewe nenda hivi na wewe nenda hivi, tutalete pita. Lakini tukija kupiga kura na walete mazuri, itakuwa mambo ni sawa.
The two candidates vying for the parliamentary seat, David Mwalika of the Wiper Party and his challenger Charles Mutisia of the UDA party, voted in Bitini and Kanyangi respectively. Both expressed regret with the postponement of the 9th of August polls.
Elections are a once-off event, and this event is going to end today. There will be a winner and there will be a loser, and life has to go on. What is important is peace in this country, in our constituency, and the lives of our people matter most.
Wakati walisema waliahirisha kwa wiki mbili, hiyo wiki kabla ya wiki mbili sijaisha wakaahirisha kwa siku another week Na hii ni kitu ambayo inahusinisha sana, kwa sababu unajua siasa ni expensive. Kwa hivyo tumeingia gharama kubwa sana.
The outcome of these particular elections, Smriti and Mark, is of great significance because remember there is that supremacy battle between the Azimio la Umoja coalition and the Kenya Kwanza alliance as far as who will control both houses, National Assembly and the Senate, and whoever wins, whether it is the UDA candidate or the Wiper candidate, it is of great significance for both political divides. So we are waiting to see how that will pan out and bring our viewers up to speed. But for now, back to you, the dynamic duo.
Oh, stop. Thank you. I paid him to say that, but thank you very much, Melita.